Hello everyone, Kathy Grant here, and this is Reignite. What's our aim? To reignite your passion for music. So let's light the fuse. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. Our guest today is an absolute legend in the music industry. He's a songwriter, a guitarist, a producer, an author, and a record label mogul. He's had worldwide #1 singles and albums, and even an Ivor Novello Award, as well as working with numerous artists, including Adam and the Ants, of course. We're not worthy, but here he is. It's Marco.
You see me? Oh, there I am.
There you are. Hello, Marco.
Hello, Cassie. How you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. Oh, fag in hand, nice and ready. Got your coffee?
Fag in hand coffee. Yeah, I don't know why you want to do these things in the middle of the night.
I know. We should have done midnight, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that's when I wake up.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get you back on another time, and we'll do it like midnight, 1 in the morning, if that works better for you.
Yeah. I'm more awake. I'm more awake than, as you know, as I called you at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm afraid I had the phone on mute. I missed that call. I do apologise.
What were you doing at 4 in the morning?
There's this weird thing that people do at night. It's called sleeping. Have you ever tried it?
I have tried it, but it's just really boring because it just goes on for ages, doesn't it?
Sleep when you're dead. Is that the mentality?
No. I'm not partying or anything like that. Instead of sleeping, I'm generally sort of watching television or reading or tidying up. Watching
television. What's your recommendations then? What should we be watching these days?
I don't really watch television. I just channel surf. I don't watch anything really. I never watch anything sort of to the end. Although I did watch the new BBC TV Dracula, which I'd never seen before.
Oh,
some of that was good.
Why have I not come across this?
I don't know. It was on television. It was on normal television, but now it's on Netflix.
There was one, I think, around Christmas time. I think I saw that was actually really bloody good.
No, I never saw that. I never saw it at the time.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've only just watched a film that is going to crack people up. It was apparently 1995. It was Meet Joe Black. We've never seen it.
I've seen Meet Joe Black. Yeah, it's bollocks.
What's how far behind I am, though? It's like 35 years ago. I'm like, oh, what's this new film then? We'll have to have a look at this.
Couldn't you tell that Brad Pitt was looking very young?
He was looking rather young. I just thought, that's
to do with the flow of time. Like he was 20 years younger.
Everyone has surgery these days, so you're never actually too sure how old anybody is.
No, I think Brad looks pretty good, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah, he's aged pretty well.
Yeah.
I just use good lighting, and you get away with it like that. And you put your hair over your face. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I can't do that. So.
No, fair enough. Oh, thank you to everyone for turning up. I'm seeing all the comments on screen. Welcome, everyone. So, how generally has life been in Derbyshire of late? Is it a beautiful place with lovely people?
No, it's the countryside. It's the countryside. No, I can't stand it. I can't stand the country. I'm a complete. Well, I told you I was born. I was born past the Suicide Bridge. So
we grew up near neighbours.
Yeah, I was born with the sound of buses and cars. So I've never not had that. So it's really, I get really scared in the country. Really? I think there's zombies roaming around or something.
Are you a Walking Dead fan?
No, not really. No, I got bored of it.
Oh, no. Come on! There's one final season to run.
Yeah, I used to read the comic. I thought the comic was quite good. I like all the behind the scenes, all the creators and producers are all suing each other. That's exciting, but the actual show itself is like kind of like it just goes on for ages, doesn't it? And I can't really devote myself to years of zombies.
I was going to say it's 11 years that's been running now.
I'm not gonna watch 11 years of zombies. I've got to watch 11 minutes.
I think you have to care about the characters. See, that's the rule that we have. If we start watching anything, whether it's a film or a series, unless within the first 5 minutes you care what happens, if you just want someone to come in and kill everyone, it's like, well, it's not worth watching this because I really couldn't give a stuff.
No, I don't care if they live or die, really. I mean,
oh, you heartless bastard!
They are fictional characters; they're not real.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really.
Not real people. There is no zombie apocalypse. It hasn't happened.
It's funny.
It's unlikely to happen too.
I watched Coronation Street and I'm thinking, this is real life, you know?
No, it's not.
So we're going to be expecting you to be moving out of scary countryside Derbyshire and back down south, are we?
Yeah, when I get many millions of pounds.
But you got a lottery ticket.
No, I'm unlikely to win the lottery as I never do it. So I'll have to get to drug dealing or something like that. I don't know.
Jesus. Well, you could try it. You could try the lottery because we were at the casino yesterday. My husband had a decent win. He said, "That's it. My luck's in. I'm getting a lottery ticket." Zip.
No, it doesn't work like that. It's completely random. Yeah,
for sure. So, talking about moving back down south. So we mentioned that you were born and brought up down the road from me, down Archway Highgate direction.
Yeah, in Camden Town actually, took down towards. It's like if you go down towards if you go up the hill under the bridge and then you turn left at these sort of lights, then you go down the hill to Breaknock.
Yes.
Right. That's where I lived. That's where we used to live.
Ah, yes. I was down there last week having a go around my old place. So I was telling you, they've gentrified it all because back in those days it wasn't very posh, but now it's all Marks and Spencers and Waitrose down there.
I don't remember it being really that rough. I suppose it was.
It was a bit. I mean, around the middle of the sort of around Archway area, it was very sort of the pubs were dog rough. Let's be honest, they were split.
Well, I would have been only like 5 or 6, or like.
Yeah, probably best you don't go.
Didn't really go to the pubs much.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of these places in London they've poshed up now, haven't they? I mean, Islington, Brixton, I think, is really posh these days.
Everything's posh. Everything's posh. Everything's expensive in London.
Yeah, it's not. Well, the funny thing is, I was down there and I used to go Highgate Cemetery a lot, roam about there. And back in those days, you could just roam about.
Yeah.
So they changed it and it's all sort of guided tours. But I thought, at the moment, because of COVID, they've said, you can actually go on a self-guided tour. And I thought, well, great, I know my way around. Still cost you 20 quid just to go in and walk by yourself. Yeah, Highgate Cemetery.
We used to go up to that cemetery to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I was up there last week at that time videoing because I'm still trying to find a ghost, and I bet if I ask you what your opinion is on hauntings and ghosts, I think I'm going to get a short shrift on that.
No, that doesn't exist.
No,
I kind of like those. I have watched those haunting programs where they always walk about in the middle of the night, don't they, to make it more scary.
Yeah.
And they're always seeing orbs, aren't they? It's like, look, there's an orb. Look, there's orbs. They're bits of dust in the atmosphere. You crap. It's like everybody knows that.
Well, I keep watching these things thinking, I want someone to convince me it's real. And every one of them I'm watching, I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. And I'm desperate to find some proof. But
the bloke I used to like was Derek Acora. He was always finding things that weren't there. Yes,
he was superb, though. He was very entertaining. Completely crap, but really entertaining.
Yeah, he did this thing. He went to a theatre owned by the Cray twins, and he said, I can feel the spirit of Barbara Windsor. And someone said, she's still alive, Derek.
Is there something he knew that no one else did?
I don't know why these ghosts would. I don't know why these. It's like there's another one about Jane Mansfield, and it was like they're trying to find the spirit of Jane Mansfield because Jane Mansfield, before she died, she was doing some cabaret show in New Orleans, and it was like they went to a restaurant that she went to about 3 times and thought, why would the spirit of Jane Mansfield haunt a restaurant in a place she didn't live. I mean, yeah. Why would Wouldn't she haunt her own house or something?
Well, you'd think, wouldn't you? Or pick
Not a restaurant she'd been to a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
It kept at the local pizza hut.
Yeah. Oh, look, here's Ziggy. Look, it's...
Oh, is that Ziggy?
Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, hello, Ziggy. Oh, precious. Oh, he's gorgeous. How old is he?
3 months.
Oh, he's an absolute sweetheart. Hello, Zig. Hello.
He can't hear you. He hasn't got headphones in.
Yeah, he's getting a set of headphones. I've shut my cats downstairs because they'll just come in and knock the camera over. So they've been locked in downstairs. Oh,
yeah, it just knocks everything over.
Oh, 3 months.
I can't wait till he grows up because it's just,
Oh, he is adorable.
He's being very puppy-like and running about.
Oh, but that's cute though. See, look, all the comments. Everyone's in love with Ziggy.
Yes, I know. Why doesn't he just do the intro?
As soon as you put a cat or a dog on the screen, that's it.
Everyone goes mad. I know.
Anyway, we're talking about Archway. So that's what I was going to ask you, because I'm saying how it is these days. But how did you find it as a kid growing up? Because London's really diverse now, but back then not so much. And your parents were Italian, weren't they? Did you fit in? Did it work okay for you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it was diverse because we knew loads of Italians. So my parents only knew Italians. So no, I didn't notice any difference. I mean, but that it was the centre of London. It was the 60s. Hello, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
We're giving you full screen.
Oh, I see. Oh,
you're the star. You're getting the full screen. I'm just disappearing, letting you talk.
I've never used this. I've never used this thing before.
We're just going to keep throwing you on full screen, and I'm just going to
okay. Right now, okay. I'm just getting used to it. No, I don't know if I liked it there. I mean, I didn't dislike it. It was just where I was.
Did you have any involvement in the restaurant biz? I mean,
no,
did they
nothing.
teach you? Did they teach you any family recipes?
No, I never even went there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. So you didn't get anything passed down to you? Any sort of family specialities?
No, nothing. I had no interest in. I had no interest in anything really.
Do you not cook at all?
No, I can't do anything.
Well, you don't live off ready meals, do you?
No, some people cook for me.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They always have done. I've never cooked anything in my life.
Well, do you have people just randomly come around and dropping dishes of food on your doorstep or something?
No, they're not random people. They're they're people I know. And,
oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
That
is pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that happening to me. If anyone fancies popping around with some food, feel free.
No, you have to understand that I can't do anything at all. I've never learnt to do it. I don't have a single real world skill. Oh,
really?
Hell. Oh, sorry. Ziggy's knocked the bin over.
That's having a 3-month-old puppy. Get used to it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Ziggy, can you get out of the bin?
I'll let him play. There's nothing in there he can harm himself with, is there?
No, but there are loads of wires and things behind this desk that he could.
Oh, crap. So you're no domestic goddess then, or god?
Hardly, no. Hardly.
Well, as long as you're not living off takeaways, that's the main thing.
I don't live off takeaways, no.
So going back, the one thing you are incredibly good at, I was just going to say, there you go, it's come up on screen. You can play guitars and write songs.
Yes, I can do that. Yeah.
Yes, so that's where I was going to get. Yes, I was going to go there. I'm going to say to you, how then did you come from being a kid roaming around in Camden to being a legendary guitarist? Where did your first guitar come from?
My dad got it off my cousin, and it was a rubbish guitar. It was just one of those awful guitars that people must remember. People play guitar probably had the same things, on nylon string piece of crap. It was really awful and really impossible to play. and impossible. And I didn't know. I just thought I was rubbish, but it was an awful guitar. And that's how I learned. I learned on this awful guitar. There was no internet. There were no kind of like, kind of teenagers to show you how to play, Sweet Child of Mine or anything. So I had to, like everybody in those days, you just had to have a friend that also was trying to play guitar, and you sort of figured out things together. So that's basically what I did. That's what everyone did in those days.
Yeah, it's not like now. Anything you want to know, you just click on YouTube, type a search in.
That's what I do, actually. Like, if I want to play, it's like, how do you play Kashmir by Led Zeppelin? And there's some 13-year-old who's just completely got it down. And you always think, oh, God, I didn't know that. I couldn't have figured that out. That's really good.
That's incredible, isn't it? Yeah, literally, because I tiled my bathroom floor, and I'm like, how do I do that? I'll go on YouTube and learn how to tile my bathroom floor. Excellent. Yeah,
I had to pump my I've got a bicycle, and I didn't know how to pump it up, so I had to look on YouTube, like how to pump up tyres.
It's just everything, isn't it? It's like an encyclopedia of everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, back then, I seem to remember in our school, we had these really crappy books on how to learn guitar. Did you ever try using one of them?
I had to. It was really confusing. It's really confusing because you can't hear it. You can't figure out what is it they're saying. It's like, this is a G and this is an E and this is all that, and it's like, yeah, but I can't hear it. I can't just look at the letters and know what it means.
Yeah, how do I know if it sounds the way it's supposed to sound?
Yeah, exactly. It's a sound. It's a sound. You can't get it out of a book.
So from there, you presumably were led towards a certain style or genre of music that you wanted to get into. Who was it? Who are you? Not that I don't know, but who are you?
The inevitable David Bowie and Roxie music, and all things glam, all things top of the pops, because it was the only thing you could watch then. So so anything glam, anything weird, anything with makeup on, anything glitter on, I loved. All the rest of it, I just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
So and through that, sort of leads you into Velvet Underground and Lou Reed, and then punk. Mm. But punk took a few years, from 73 to 75 or something. There was, I was just kind of. Well, I didn't know there was anybody else who wanted to play what I wanted to play. I'd never met anybody else who wanted to play what I wanted to play. I didn't know anybody who wanted to play David Bowie songs. I didn't know anybody who wanted to play Rebel Rebel. So I felt kind of like I didn't really think, I didn't know what I was going to do. So, and it was just, I remember when I was in Denmark Street once looking at guitars, and suddenly I saw Vivienne Westwood wearing a big black fur glitter coat coming towards me. And I said, bloody hell, what are you doing? And he says, oh, Malcolm's got this band and all that. And I thought, this is so weird, because those two worlds didn't coincide. Like Denmark Street and guitars and musicians didn't coincide with the King's Road fashion thing. Mm. And that was the first time I thought, oh, there might be something may be happening. I mean, she didn't invite me to come and say, oh, you must come and meet the band. She didn't invite me. She just said, fuck off, basically. Just... I must go now. All right, bye.
I saw a picture of her the other day. She's looking bloody good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. How old is she? 85 or something?
Oh, she's got a bit, hasn't she? She must be around about 80, something like that.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, you used to go shopping at her shop on the King's Road that was called Sex. I believe. And what were you shopping for there, Marco?
Brothel creepers and strange teddy boy clothes. I hated rock and roll music, but I really liked teddy boy clothes. So I wanted brothel creepers and drapes and all the rest. Bootlace ties, fluorescent socks, and all that. So. Hang on, my battery's going down. So, so I started off in that shop because it was a teddy boy shop. It was a bizarre teddy boy shop because it also sold rubber gear as well. Well, that's what I liked about it. It was very tactile. It smelt good, which is I think one of the things that people still sort of dream about that shop. People used to go there because there was lots of things you could touch and smell. Hello.
So I'm still here. I'm letting you.
No, I don't. There's always pauses at the end of my interviews. So I just said it when it's like, and then people just say,
right. So you're in there walking around, touching things and smelling things.
No, people ask me questions in interviews. Ask me a question, and then you answer it, and then there's a pause, and you go, "Well, that's it. That's the answer." What do you want to say?
I don't want to interrupt you. I don't want to interrupt you.
No. You might. You can interrupt if you want.
No, I do that too much. I'm always getting told off for that at home. It's like, you don't bloody listen because you're always interrupting. Yeah, I get that all the time. So I'm trying to be polite.
I also get with interviews, people sort of know, they ask me questions and you answer them. They go, well, I don't think that's right. Well, I tell you what, why don't you just write down what you'd like me to say?
Yeah, just give me the script.
Yeah, like this thing about, I did an interview once with like this bloke, I don't know, Swedish punk journalist said, but you all hated disco. No, I didn't hate disco. Yes, all punks hated disco. Well, I wasn't really a punk, and no, I didn't hate disco. Well, why do you think I hate disco? Well, because you all did. No, I didn't.
Oh, well, thanks for telling us what we all liked and didn't like.
No, and I said, look, I think, I Feel Love is one of the greatest records I've ever made. And I used to play it at Louise's all the time. That's where I first heard it. And he was like, oh, no, it's like, but you're anti that. You wanted to destroy it. No.
What the hell?
Just because you don't like disco, mate, doesn't mean that. Yeah.
And it's almost like people are going to just like shoehorn you into something. Oh, because you like this, you're never going to like that. It's like, well, you can only like one style of music and only one thing.
No, they have this sort of preconceived thing about, what you might like, or the other thing is like, but you hated electronic music. So I don't hate electronic music, but you didn't do it with Adam and the Ants. It's just, well, we didn't do lots of things. It didn't mean we hated it.
You didn't do country either, but hey.
We didn't do opera. We don't hate it.
Oh my God. You might put words in your mouth.
Yeah, no. Because you don't do something, or you've never professed a love for something, it means you hate it. No.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory. There's a lot of things in life that you don't do, but it doesn't mean you don't like it.
No, yeah.
That's bizarre.
I don't like gardening. Doesn't mean doesn't mean that I don't think people should garden. I don't like football, but I don't think it should be banned or anything.
No, that is slightly strange.
But that's sort of strange journalist sort of thing. They have their little bugbears about something. They want you to join in. And when you go, no, I don't, no, that's not true.
So, yeah, I mean, I didn't tell you off because you don't believe in ghosts, did I? See, that's my thing. You don't want, no, fine. See, now you're going to make me ask you the other question that I always ask people.
What's that?
Do you like Jaffa Cakes?
Oh, okay.
I'm obsessed. Do you like Jaffa Cakes? And if not, what's your favourite biscuit?
I think Jaffa Cakes are okay, yes. I don't eat loads of them. In fact, I can't remember the last time I ate a Jaffa Cake. I think there's not enough jam in them, basically. I think there should be more jam in a Jaffa Cake. Mm. I don't even know what flavoured jam it is. What is it? What is it supposed to be?
Oh, it's a bit controversial, to be honest with you, Marco, because they've always been orange, and suddenly in the last 6 months, McVitie's have decided they're going to make Jaffa Cakes in lemon, lime, strawberry, cherry, blackcurrant, and they're absolute shite. They're no good.
No, I hate that. It's like when they wait to start making Lucozade in different flavours.
Yeah, what's that about? Just leave it. It works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, because they want to sell more Lucozade.
It's just ridiculous.
But it was a strange sort of marketing concept. Like, you can only drink Lucozade when you're ill.
Yeah, you were just getting the chemist, didn't you? And it had that cellophane wrap on it.
Cellophane that you used to look through, and But I used to love Lucozade. And I was thinking, why can't we buy Lucozade? And this is what you can only drink it when you're ill, darling.
Yeah. You got to be ill.
Yeah.
That is weird, isn't it? But these days it's more to do with sport, isn't it? And all that kind of. Yeah, they went down the Lucozade Sport, and it's because it's got glucose in it, gives you energy, and it helps you perform.
It's not going to give you energy. It's not going to give you energy. It's just going to make you fat and rot your teeth.
There you go. But you might be a good sports person, but you'll be fat and
no, Lucozade is not going to make you into a good sports person. They're not fat because they train all the time, but people who just drink Lucozade on the sofa, their teeth are going to fall out and they're going to get really fat.
If you sit on your backside drinking Lucozade,
and eating Lucozade all day,
you're effectively screwed.
No, you're not going to get sporty.
So let's go back. Let me go away from biscuits. I'm heading off down a biscuit route. So let's go back. You're hanging out. You're hanging out with.
I'm hanging out in the shop.
Vivienne and the shop. And the next thing we know is you're playing a gig with Suzi at the 100 Club, and
it's hardly the next thing.
All right.
This didn't happen on a minute-to-minute basis, you know. It was like, you know, there was months, years in between, you know.
But is it true that it came about that you met Billy Idol at a Queen gig, and it came about as a result of that?
Queen were doing. I can tell you. I can pinpoint what kind of. Well, other people could really pinpoint it. It's like Kiki D was on doing. I Got the Music in Me.
Oh, cool.
So it was that when that was out, and then they did a free concert in Hyde Park. I never really liked Queen. They were all right, but so I thought I'd go. It was free, and it was strange because there weren't many people there. You think like Queen doing a free concert, they would pack it out, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And anyway, I ran into Philip Salon, who is the person people usually run into, and he said, "Oh, hello, darling," and you know, come and meet my friends, and that's how I met. But I'd known Billy a bit from just the shop. Oh no, that's what I used to be in a band with Billy. I was I was in the sort of they were called the Infants, which I thought was a rubbish name, and I rehearsed with them a couple of times, but I didn't think they would. I don't know. They kept wanting to do like versions of Sha-la-la-la Lee and You Really Got Me, and I didn't want to play 60s music. And so anyway, they threw me out, which I was actually quite pleased about, because I was always thinking, oh, how do I leave, you know, and then they just phoned them and said, oh no, because him and me were the guitar players and there was another bloke singing, and so they threw me out, and I was really, really relieved. I said, oh, and they said, oh, we're really sorry. I said, no, it's all right, don't worry, it's fine.
Do me a favour.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry. So I knew Billy a bit. Then we all went back to his house, and then Billy paid me some of his songs, which were like things like Ready, Steady, Go. And I thought, but because Billy was, you know, he was sort of like very career orientated and organised, which no one else was, and he actually had talent, which no one else did. So then he said, oh, do you want to do it? Because he was supposed to be playing guitar with Siouxsie and The Banshees, but he decided he didn't want to do it because he thought it would kind of like harm his career, which it probably would have done. And but I didn't have a career, so it didn't matter. So I met Suzi and Steve, who didn't particularly seem to like me, but I thought, and Sid was going to play drums, and I thought, well, I actually thought, well, if Sid's doing it, it must be all right. I mean, that's how deluded I was. Yeah, Sid Vicious is doing it. Well, he's good. He's clever.
There you go.
He's a person you should be associated with. So they said, you know, just turn up to the Clash's place tomorrow night, and it's like we're gonna have like 2 hours rehearsal, and I said, well, we haven't got any songs or anything. He said, well, we'll just see if we're gonna learn a set, write 10 songs, learn a set all in like 2 hours. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen really. But I just couldn't. I mean, Sid could play, and I was all right. Suzi and Steve didn't have a clue. They'd never touched it. He'd never picked up a bass. So
really,
yeah, no, he'd never picked. Steve never picked up a bass. So we just decided that it was probably Sid's idea, but I thought it was a great idea. It was like, let's just make a noise. And I said, that suits me. So we just made a noise for 25 minutes. I think we thought it was like kind of Sister Ray or something.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really. It was just that we couldn't do anything else. I could make loads of noise. I knew how to do that.
It's a good start.
Yes, it's a really good start. If they'd had a guitarist who was like Plinky Plonky with a clean sound, I don't know what they would have done. But fortunately, I was just like torrents of feedback. And
how did it go down with the crowd?
I don't know. I mean, I just remember seeing these sort of question mark, sort of like green question mark Riddler question marks appearing over the audience because we played after 5 minutes. They just thought, what are they doing? And it's just.
Oh, was it only that one gig you played?
Yeah, yeah. Then we didn't speak. Then we didn't. We just sort of came off stage, and I didn't speak to him for months. And then they got a new guitarist. Obviously, didn't like me, and they threw Sid out because that was not going to work.
Yeah.
And they sort of carried on being the Banshees.
Okay.
So we were the Banshees. We were Siouxsie and the Banshees that night, but Suzi spelled Suzi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know she changed it.
Yeah.
Ah, see, learn something every day.
That's how we were built. Build Suzi and the Banshees.
Ah, all right. That's my new fact of the day. Thank you very much.
And they got the idea. It was called the Banshees because they'd seen Cry of the Banshee on telly with Vincent Price, and they thought it was a good name, which it is actually.
Oh man. Okay, so I never knew any of that. Good Lord.
No, I mean it's lucky that I joined a band that already had a name, and so you didn't have to go through all that or what's in the list of names.
Yeah.
It takes bands years to come up with a name because it's like 4 or 5 blokes who have to agree on a name, and they never do.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's like coming up with a name for a podcast. I was sitting there, and just something. Reignite. Yeah, flames, fire. That's good. Yeah, igniting a passion for music sounds good to me.
Yeah, but it's your podcast. You didn't have to argue with that, but with 3 other people, did you?
But I had to argue with myself. You know, the different different voices in my head, Marco.
Yeah, I know. Is this any good? I know, like lying awake at night going, reignite, or maybe it shouldn't or maybe something else is called reignite, or I've got to have that forever now.
But you know what? It was funny when I was trying to come up with a name and I was looking into it, and I'd come up with various things, and then I'd go onto urban dictionaries and words that I think mean something to young people, they've come up with new meanings for, and I'm like, no, I can't use this, can't use that, because it's going to be misinterpreted. But hey, anyway, listen. But
reignite. Why is it called reignite?
Because it's reigniting.
Is it reigniting old bastards' interest in music?
It's reigniting a passion for artists who began in the 70s and 80s. So us that were there at the time, taking us back and then bringing us to where you are now, and bringing in a new audience, reigniting a passion for people who began in those days.
Well, you can't.
And are still going strong.
You can't reignite a passion in an audience who never had that passion in the first place.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'm reigniting.
I put it to you that your name is stupid, and you should change it.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I've got to change the name of my podcast.
What's wrong with just Ignite? Ignite would have been brilliant with a big flame.
I was going to go with Ignite because that's a damn song, and that's where it came from originally.
That's brilliant. You fucked up already. You just got the wrong name.
That's it. Scrap the whole show. Right, but back to you. Now you've dissected my show and completely trashed it. We'll go back to you.
Okay.
So, right, let's move it on. So you've done your gig with the Banshees.
Yeah.
That finishes. Tell me about your bands, because you had 2 bands, right?
Yeah, I was in this band with a couple of guys from my art college. And one of them was Terry Lee Mile, who went on to be in Adam and the Ants. And it was just sort of a bog standard sort of Bowie obsessed punk band, really. The singer was really Bowie obsessed. Well, we all were. So we used to do sort of bullshit versions of Candidate from Diamond Dogs and stuff like that. And then I don't know. It went on for about a year, and then we got a tour with the Heartbreakers. But it wasn't. I mean, it was just I didn't want to do punk anymore. It was dead. It was completely uninteresting, and it was just a shit scene, really. I just wanted to get out of it.
And this was, what were your back? It was models and Rema?
Yeah, Rema was this sort of idea that we'd be the Velvet Underground, but with Mick Ronson playing guitar.
Oh, okay. And how long did you go on with that?
We had a girl drummer, and I just did loads and loads of feedback because I couldn't really do anything else. I couldn't really play. But I just, like I said, I knew how to make a noise because that's the first thing I learned to do, is to make a noise. When you hold the guitar up to the amp, you think, oh, that's great. And I thought, well, I'll just do that until someone gets bored with it. Well, which was actually me. I got bored with it. So
how did you move it on from there in terms of you like continuing your education in guitar, if you like, or did you just learn as you went along?
I just learned as you went along, which is kind of the best thing to do, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the other thing about those days, I didn't have. It's going to sound really big-headed, but it's not. It's not what I mean. It's like there was no one around that I thought was any good. I thought I was better than everybody else. So that's not saying very much, because everyone was fucking awful. So, but I there was no one I could go and see and thought, oh, he's good, I want to be like that. There was no kind of competition. There was like, oh, that bloke from that band's really good, and I've got to really go home and work on this because I've got to be better than him,
Yeah.
But now it's like, American guitarists is different. That there's always like, the fastest shredder or the, whatever it is. It's like, they grew up with kind of in competition with other guitarists. That's why they're technically better.
Yeah.
They're technically better.
They pushed them on.
They pushed them on because there's always someone that they're in competition with.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in London. There wasn't anybody else.
No.
Oh, they probably were, but I just didn't see them.
Didn't come across them.
No.
But then the next thing that I know that happened, again, the time frame is probably vastly out, but you've got your bands, you're doing that, and then a letter comes through your door.
A letter comes through my door. I had gone out the night before. I went to a Steve Strange party.
Oh, nice. How was that?
Oh, it was rubbish. But I did meet that bloke. I did meet that bloke who used to ride bicycles. He used to ride motorcycles. Who was that famous motorcycle geezer? And he had a film out called Silver Dream Machine or something.
Oh, Christ. Sheen. Hey? Was it Sheen? Barry Sheen?
Was it Barry Sheen? I can't remember.
I've got bloody Evil Knievel in me head, but he's American.
No, I never met Evil Knievel. No, I never met.
He didn't hang out in Camden.
I didn't meet Evil Knievel at a Steve Strange party in Kensington High Street. No.
Nah.
No, was it? I can't remember. Anyway,
it might have been Barry Sheen. All
right. Okay. So
we'll go with Barry Sheen.
He was kind of the most famous person I'd ever met at the time. So. So I stayed out all night and came back, and then there was a sort of scrappy bit of paper like on the floor. My mum gave it to me. So someone put this for the thing, and it just said, "Call me, Adam," and a number. And I thought, I don't know any Adams. Only Adam Ant, but why would he call me? What's he doing at my house? So I called him, and he wasn't in. So, but then he called me back. And then...
Oh, someone's just said David Essex. Well, he did a song, Silver Dream Machine, didn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't
a motorcyclist. He just did the song. Yeah, we do remember the song. Sorry.
I do remember the song. Was it any good? I can't remember.
No. Husband's saying no, I'm saying yeah, but there we go. It was all right. It wasn't a classic. Let's put it that way.
It wasn't a classic, no. My phone's going to run out in a minute. Don't
say that. No.
All right, I won't say it then, but it's not going to change anything.
Yeah, just disappear. It's just like vanish off the screen and no one knows where Marco's gone.
Have you got headphones in?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's hidden. It's under there.
I'll have to unplug my headphones and plug the phone in. Hello, can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Bloody technology. There you go. We're fine. We're all good. Excellent. Anyway, so yeah, we'll just explaining to
turn you up.
There you go.
Yeah.
So going back to explaining to our younger viewers who may be watching, there did used to be this thing called, you used to write things on bits of paper and send letters and put them through people's doors, because these days everyone just messages.
If they didn't have your phone number, and some people they didn't even have phones. There were quite a few people who didn't have phones.
No, I didn't.
We did, but we'd only just got it. So
I was 13 when we got a phone. We used to go down the phone box down the road with our bag of 10p's and phone people.
I was 13 before we got a phone.
Yeah.
It was and then you also used to do that thing which is like talk for hours with your friends, but you had to lie in the hall to do it.
Yeah, remember it well. You kids today, you don't know the struggles we had.
It was a nightmare growing up in our generation.
It was. They got it easy, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right.
You couldn't go online. You actually had to. You were attached to the wall, and you couldn't move it. You couldn't extend it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they started putting them bloody phone locks on. Did your parents put a phone lock on your phone?
No.
Oh God, they used to put a phone lock so you couldn't turn the dial.
Yeah. No,
but then we worked out if
I know what you mean.
But you used to tap the number out on the receiver so you could get around it anyway. They couldn't work out why the phone bill didn't go down, was because we worked out a hack.
Yeah.
Anyway, your letter coming through the door. I interrupted you. Do carry on.
Yeah, it was. So I called him, and he wasn't there. So he called me back and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, nothing." Because I just left Rema because I just got sick of. I don't know. I just wasn't going anywhere really, and I had to sort of admit to myself, actually, this is not what I want to do. What I want to do is be on top of the pops and be famous, and have shiny cars and lots of clothes and muddly girlfriends. And yeah, I thought it was reasonable, but that was something you couldn't say at the time. Because you had to be, you had to keep the enemy happy. So he said, I'm not in the ants anymore. It was a bit confusing. I said, but it's Adam in the ants. How can you not be in the ants?
Okay, weird.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I said, no, they threw me out. I said, but it's Adam in the ants. Why do they throw you out?
That's ridiculous.
I know. He said, well, they did. And so we met up the next day in Covent Garden. And that's right, because about 6 months earlier, I'd met him in this shop called PX.
All right.
With Julia. Princess Julia worked in PX.
Uh-huh.
And he really fancied Princess Julia, although he has gone on to to deny it, but it was true. That's what he was doing in PX, trying to chat up Julia.
Oh, fair enough.
Fair enough. And so I met him in the shop, and we went round the corner, and then he just talked incessantly about his plans for. I think they hadn't done Dirt Wears White Socks at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was telling me they were going to go and do this album, and he had all these ideas for production and all that. Didn't know what he was talking about, but he did. I'd never been in a studio. I don't think he'd ever been in a studio, but Adam's a great talker, so he said, "Yeah, I'm going to produce the album." I was really impressed by that because I didn't know what production was.
Sounds very grown up.
Yeah, it did sound really grown up. I thought, oh God, this is really like going into the studio and you're producing it. I don't think he knew what producing was about. I don't think he really produced it. I think the engineer produced it. So then that was, and then we had that, and then 6 months later, there was no more ants. Or maybe it was a year later, I can't remember. And yeah, then we met up again, and he just talked incessantly about, He brought Malcolm in, and Malcolm had thrown him out, or Malcolm hadn't thrown him out because Malcolm doesn't do things like that. He sort of engineers it so that other people do his dirty work for him.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Which is actually a good trick to learn.
That's a good tactic.
It's a good tactic, and and that's what I've always tried to do. So I can remain innocent. So I can remain like, oh, it wasn't anything to do with me.
That's it. Yeah, your conscience is clear. You didn't do anything.
My conscience is clear. Yeah. No, we can still be friends. It's like, even though I had you thrown out. Oh, are we still friends? Oh, yes, of course we're still friends.
So I was going to ask, from that initial point of when he stuck a note through your door saying, "Hey, it's Adam, call me." How long did it take from then to when it was like, boom, worldwide?
Oh, God, from that point, it was, I don't know, probably like 18 months later.
Really?
Yeah. I do remember sort of like, this we're in Japan, and Adam had this gigantic suite with like these big picture windows overlooking Tokyo. And I was standing there and I was just looking out at Tokyo thinking, how did we get here? And I said to him, how did we get here?
But was it when you were at the height of all that? Sorry, I was just going to say, when you're at the height of all that, could you even like go out of a hotel room and walk down the street? Because anyone that doesn't know, I know there's a load of AMP people watching, but anyone that doesn't know, I mean, you were literally every TV show, every magazine, everywhere you looked, it was just domination, Adam and the Ants. So how was it for you, like being a normal person going about a normal existence? Could you?
Well, I wasn't a normal person. I'd never had a normal existence, so it's not something I ever missed. Adam couldn't go out. He couldn't go anywhere. He could hardly leave the room. He just used to get fed up with it. And obviously, I could go out, but shopping on Saturday mornings, shopping was like kind of out. You couldn't do that anymore. You couldn't hang out at gigs because there'd always be somebody who's like, your band's shipmate, and you just. There's always like some punk hangover going. I mean, I remember being at some party, another Steve Strange party, and like just seeing out the corner of my eye, there's these guys were pointing at me, and I thought, oh, here it comes, and they made a big point of like kind of pushing through the crowd and then arguing with the bouncer to get in the VIP. But I could see all this happening at the corner of my eye. Then coming up the stairs and then getting to this thing and pushing all these. And the bloke said, "Hello, mate, you're in the Ants." And I said, "Yeah, I think your band's Mickey Mouse." I said, "You come all this way from downstairs to tell me that?"
Oh, for crying out loud. Jesus.
Really was it? Oh, I'm devastated. You don't like my band. Oh, I'll never be able to. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to cry now. I'll have to go home.
Yeah, your life's ruined now, isn't it?
No, I just said, "Oh, wow, I'm devastated, mate."
Good God.
No, I didn't forget all the time.
That was a lot of effort to go to, wasn't it, really?
Well, people went to a lot of effort to insult you, which is like, it's kind of admirable in some ways.
Yeah, they just do it on Facebook these days. But
yeah, they can do it on Facebook. It's easy now.
It's very easy to be a complete arse these days.
That's not impressive. You have to really work in those days to really like take the piss out of someone.
I was going to say, yeah, actually, you should be impressed with the amount of energy and effort that went into that. Well done indeed. Yeah, much more work than pressing a keyboard.
That's strange. It's like, do you really think that I care?
Jesus God. But you know what's weird to me? When I started looking into having you on here, I assumed that Adam and the Ants took over all my teenage years, but actual Adam and the Ants was only, what was it, like 2 years, the initial Adam and the Ants phase?
Yeah.
And then from there it became Adam Ant.
Yeah.
And that was you and Adam, just you and Adam.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm going to ask you about?
No.
Yeah,
more Jaffa Cakes, more biscuits.
Yeah, do you want a Jaffa cake? Actually, no, I've got my sticker rock here because I was down in Southend the other day. So my lunch, I've got sticker rock.
Oh, God, that's really nutritious. You'll feel much better after that.
Oh no, but wait till you see that. Look, coconut ice with fudge built into it. Even better.
Is that what you eat?
Can't go. You can't go to South. Yeah, but I went to Southend. You can't go and not come back with this kind of shit, can you? Let's be honest.
No, but that doesn't mean you have to. But this is now your dietary. You know, my diet now consists of rock and coconut Jaffa cakes. I mean, it's just you'll die.
I do eat salad. I eat a lot of salad, so I figured that sort of balances it out. Is that all right? So like a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Salad, yummy.
Nice balanced diet. Anyway, so I'm going to come back to it. I will come, and there's a lot of people watching that are ant people, who have given me an absolute ton of questions that we're going to get to. So we're going to cover a lot of Adam and the Ant stuff. But the question I want to ask you at this point is something that when I said you were coming on, I had a lot of differing opinions that I would like you to clear up for me.
Okay.
Do you or do you not speak to Adam, and do you or do you not hate Adam? Because I can't understand how you could have continued working together for so long if you really didn't get on. So tell us the truth.
I haven't spoken to him for years. He doesn't want to speak to me. But no, I don't hate him. I don't hate him at all. In fact, was that when he did that stupid film, The Blueback Hussars? The director, I wasn't there, but the director did a question and answer, and someone said, you know, how did Adam and Marco get on? And he got up and said, no, they hate each other now. I thought, you don't know me. You've never asked. You don't know anything about me. I don't hate him. And you just announced it from the stage. And it's just, you don't speak for me. Couldn't you ask me these things before you talk this? No, it's not true. I don't hate him.
No.
Why would I hate him?
Well, that's what some people said to me, oh, you can't mention Adam, you can't say anything about Adam because, you know, it's really difficult and it's really tricky. But when I'm looking at this, you guys worked together on Adam the Ants, then you were Adam Ant. And then when I've looked through sort of discographies and stuff, you carried on working together on and off throughout like a couple of decades, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you can't not get on with someone or not like someone if you're going to carry on going back and working with them. But it's just a controversial topic, that the relationship with you and him.
It isn't for me.
Well, that's what we like to hear. So as far as you're concerned, you would continue working with him?
I don't know. I mean, it depends what it was. I mean, it depends what it was. I mean, I know that it's very clear from his last album that he has no interest in recording, really. So he's never had any interest in recording. So he'll just stick out whatever. And everyone thought, and I sort of read reviews and it was, oh, this is a sort of brand new concept. You know, he's going to make a crap album. But this was deliberate. It's not deliberate. It's like he can't be bothered.
Did he prefer doing live performances then? Doesn't enjoy recording?
It's not he didn't enjoy recording. It's just got a very low attention span. But it's like working with me, and I loved recording. So it was always like, look, you go away and let me do it, you know. And he was very happy to do that. And then you come and tell me what you think. Just go shopping or go and have lunch or do something, and then come back at 7 o'clock and tell us what you think. And 9 times out of 10 he would really like it. I mean, it's important that he liked it. So he's the person who's got to sing it.
Well, exactly.
He's the person who's got to front it. No, but it was always that was good because it kept it. Because you get, if you're just sitting in the studio all the time, you know, like for 8 hours or something, you forget what you're listening to. It becomes really foggy, and you just don't know. And it would just come and just say something really obvious that we hadn't noticed, and you go, "Oh God, you're right."
So you worked with him, like I say, on and off for a number of years, but obviously there's other people. We're going to come back to Adam the Ants because all the questions will come up at the end. But you worked with Sinead, and did you do songwriting with her as well? And how different was it doing songwriting with her rather than Adam?
Because I would actually just provide tracks, which is a way that a lot of people work. But I don't like it. I don't like working that way. It's the way that Boz works with Morrissey. You know, he provides like a finished track, and then Morrissey will kind of sing over it, which is what Sinead used to do, and it's what a lot of people do. It's what people do now. It's more prevalent nowadays, so that people can work in different countries. So they just do a complete track, send it to someone, they will sing on it. But
yeah,
it's not a satisfying way to work.
No,
because you don't know what you're just sitting there doing this instrumental, and you don't know what the vocal's going to be, so you don't know how much you should put on it. Is this finished? Is it not finished? Is it any good? Because it's the vocal. I mean, as much as I hate to admit it, I mean, it's the vocal that makes things. It's the vocal that most people hear. They don't really. I mean, it's like if you go into a supermarket and listen to music, all you can hear is the vocal, probably a snare drum, and kind of like wishy-washy, rattly sound in the middle. But no one ever pays any attention to that bit.
No,
it's
all, true.
You know, if you stop someone in the street and you say, sing a stand deliver, they're not going to sing the guitar line. They're going to go, go stand deliver, you know.
Yeah.
So the vocal is the most important thing. In fact, you could probably take the music off to most people and just play them the vocal. And they wouldn't notice that the music's gone.
How much were you involved in the backing of vocals for Adam the Ants, by the way?
Oh no, Adam did all those. I can't sing.
Was it all him?
Yeah, it's all him.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh God, I didn't realise. I thought you were all him.
I think maybe on the first album we kind of, I can't sing at all. I mean, that we tried to blend voices together, but no one could. But he had lots of ideas for harmonies which we didn't understand. I didn't understand. I still don't. And so we just tracked them up. Yeah, no, it was easier if he did it on his own, and because he wouldn't have to explain it to somebody else, and then spend hours trying to get them to sing it right when they can't sing, and he can.
Yeah. Oh. Interesting. So the other one I was going to talk to you about, because you've not only, obviously Adam the Ants is the one that most people know you for, obviously Sinead O Connor, but when we were talking, when you were coming on this show, I found out you worked with somebody else who's a mutual friend of ours, and I thought he was winding me up when he told me. You were, I understand, you were in New York, it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I think you were probably in the studio with Adam and Tony Visconti.
Was I? Probably,
yeah. And there was somehow or other, and I don't know the story of how, but you were involved with a band called Electric Angels, and you were playing on the Drinking song. Now, my friend Ryan Roxie told me this, and I thought it was a wind-up, but you said it's actually true.
No, Visconti was producing the Electric Angels.
So you just happened to be in the studio at the time, and what, he called you in to work? How did it work?
This was later on. And they were recording in Visconti's studio in Soho, and Visconti phoned me up and said, "You want to put some guitar on this track?" And I said, "All right," and I did.
Good Lord.
That's it.
Good Lord. I honestly thought he was winding me up.
No, I mean, I'd forgotten all about it.
Yeah, I did. When he said it to me, I thought he's going to get me to ask you, and you're going to go, "No, you're talking crap," and he's going to make me look like a complete plum. But it's actually true.
I sometimes do say, "Oh God, you're talking crap." I don't remember that because as you get older, your mind goes, and you just can't remember every single thing that you've done, or you certainly can't remember every single person that you've met. And even when people go, "Oh, hello, we did a session together," and you go, "Oh, hi," and you just.
See, that's how I've developed a tactic of just calling everyone mate, because if I bump into them and they go, "Oh, do you remember me?" I go, "Oh, yeah, mate," and then you just try and kind of gloss over it a a bit. Yeah. Where the hell do I know you from?
You don't know if there's someone who's never met you. You can't figure out, have I actually met this person, or are they someone I've never met, or is just saying hello?
Yeah.
You stare intently and nothing happens, and you know. And the terrible thing is that if you're with somebody else and you go, "Oh, and this is my friend so and so, and this is
Yeah, it's that introduction moment. What do you do?
It's like that thing with Basil Fawlty, and he goes, and this is, Mrs. Twitching, and he faints.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, and I feel like that all the time. You think, and this is my friend. So I was like, and this is. Oh,
yeah, just do that. Sorry, did you miss that?
Yeah. So I didn't get the name. His name is, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you ever used to watch Father Ted.
Yeah, I love Father Ted.
So there was that one with Mrs. Doyle, and she had to guess the priest's name, and it took her half an hour, and she wouldn't allow him to give her any clues, and she had to keep guessing the name because Ted had no idea.
No,
I felt his pain.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, God, yeah. He said, why don't you guess his name? And she's like, sure, it could be anything. And he's like, oh, 45 minutes, and you got it. Well done. Yeah.
No, the only one that I remember is, the one that everyone remembers is like My Lovely Horse. I'm trying to write the
God,
song.
yes. Oh, God, the video. Oh, yes. Fabulous. Yeah, we'll be watching all that later.
And there's like an ashtray full of fags, and he's just going, no, you played it.
That's it. They were locked in the bedroom, weren't they?
That's exactly what it's like.
Remember it well.
Yeah, and they nicked the B-side of the song.
That's it. Oh, he heard it in the lift, didn't he? It was Muzak in the lift. That's right. Yeah, and they'd all tragically died in a plane crash. Everyone who'd ever worked on the track. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone who ever worked on the track. Yeah. We had a similar experience, but unfortunately, not everybody worked on the track was dead. But that's another story about us nicking the B-side of a song.
Okay. All right, we'll have to come back to that another time. Because I was going to ask you about your then band, the Wolfmen. So how did that come about? And what is this? I read you wrote music for TV programs and ads when you were in the Wolfmen. Is that true?
We did. Yeah, we did. We did a load of that. Because it's actually
what ads easy. Then? Tell me, what ads?
I can't remember. We did, but it was all kind of like German BMW ads, and we did one for something with Kate Moss. I remember we had this video with Kate Moss in it, and you get like the funny thing is, it's like you get these sort of videos. You get the ad before it's finished, and like Kate was supposed to kind of like drift down out of the sky, but they hadn't taken the wires out yet, so you could see Kate
took the magic away from it.
Yeah, and Kate was looking a bit spotty, which I actually found quite endearing, actually, because we're all a bit spotty. I certainly am, and she had a complexion airbrushed out. I actually never saw the finished video.
Did you not?
We did. No, it was for Japan or something, so you never get to see it. But the thing is, it's like all these things have to be 2 minutes long, and it just got working with. I mean, I always thought the music business was bad, but the advertising business or the TV business, you think, I just want to go back to the music business where everyone's mad, but I understand them. I know they don't know what they're talking about, but nobody does. So, and people really don't know what they're talking about, because everything in like advertising or TV is done by committee.
Oh, right.
It's like, it's all right, in the music business, it's done by committee, but it's only 4 people or only 2 people, like you have to decide. But in advertising and TV, there's like 20 people who all have to decide, and you just get, look, I'm not doing it. I'm not changing it again. So it's just, well, unless you pay me not loads of money. Oh, no, but that's covered in the original fee. No, it isn't. There was one about, can you deliver this track that's like a car has to go around a French village, and every time it passes a different bar, there's a different amount, a different piece of music. Like there's a heavy metal track and an opera track and a hip hop track and a country track. And in the end, they all meet up into one great big track at the end of the song. And can you do it? And can you do it by, can you do it in 24 hours? No, I can't do it in 24 hours. I mean, that's a gigantic piece. And well, what's the money like? Oh, well, we don't know. Well, I don't know if I want to do it then.
Oh, Jesus. That's not on.
No, I know that, but they sort of like exploit people who, you know, I actually through you know, trial and error, I know better. So it's like, no, I'm not sitting here for 48 hours without sleep. Can I do a track? And I don't even know what it's ever going to be used. And I don't know if I'll ever get paid. And if I do get paid, I don't know much what it is. And I could go, oh, the fee's like 300 quid. I thought, this is 10 grand's worth of work.
It's taking the mick, isn't it?
Yeah, they do take the mick. But they have to exploit people who sort of like, it's their one chance, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was when you were in the Wolfmen? You were doing that? Yeah. How much stuff did you actually put out as the Wolfmen?
We put out 2 albums and a bunch of singles.
Okay. Are you not doing it anymore?
No, it's too expensive.
Oh, really?
No one ever bought anything. And I had to pay for it all. And it was just, I just can't do it anymore.
No.
You know?
So the last thing that you were doing though before lockdown all kicked in is you were working with Shakespears Sister, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, do tell.
Well, Siobhan is one of my best friends, and
Okay.
so she said, "Do you want to be in my band? And do you want to do Shakespears Sister?" And I said, "Well, no, not really." But I thought,
Really?
But then I thought, oh no, I'll do it. I just look, yes, I want to do it, and I didn't really think about it. Otherwise, I'd be like agonising and asking, "Do you think I should do Shakespears Sister? Do you think I should do Shakespeare?" Yeah, and everyone says yes, and I'm still thinking, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, but I just said yes, so I just said yes, I'll do it. And I know she said she called me on the phone. Said, "Do you want to do Shakespears Sister? Do you want to be?" And I said, yes, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I didn't know what, you know. I just said yes to it.
And was this recorded an album or a tour or both?
With a tour.
Okay. Where did you go? Was it UK, Europe?
Yeah, it was just UK.
And this was what, just before the pandemic all kicked in?
Yeah. It was the November before last. November 2019, November and December, I think we did.
Wow. So how was it left? I mean, now that hopefully
I think it was left.
Back to normal.
It was left that they were talking about doing European dates and possibly going to America, and then bang, you know, doors shut, nothing.
Man.
Oh, hang on a minute. I've got to get my smoothie. Thank you.
Is that a smoothie? Did he just say he had a smoothie delivered?
Yes.
Where's mine? No one brings me anything.
Well, you haven't got, you know.
I need staff, don't I? Really,
Yeah.
I do need staff. Clearly, I'm not wealthy enough.
That wasn't staff. That was my friend Sabrina, my ex-girlfriend Sabrina, who's been looking after me during the pandemic.
Oh, bless. Well, thank you, Sabrina, for bringing the smoothie for Marco. We appreciate it. Okay. So
yes, I'm very surprised she didn't want to be involved in the interview. Actually, she's usually.
I can say she's more than. Oh, Joe wants to know where hers is. Joe's just popped up on screen. She wants a smoothie as well. Yeah, so do I, Joe. We can't get the staff. We can't get the friends.
We can't get the staff. We just can't get the staff.
We need better friends around us. That's what it is.
We can't get the staff anymore.
No. So anyway, Shakespears Sister, you did this bit of a tour. Everything went to, you know, and
then the world ended. It was all going quite
well. The world ended. So, assuming that the world is now restarting, are you going to get back with Shakespears Sister? Are there any plans afoot?
I don't know.
What are your plans?
Don't have any.
None at all, apart from drinking the smoothie.
None at all. I have no plans. I have no. I mean, all my plans. I never have any plans anyway. But everything it's just. I mean, I think it's the same for just about everybody on Earth, really.
Yeah.
People are doing that because it was the most. It was a bit like the zombie apocalypse, wasn't it?
It was.
But even worse because none of the. It's like a zombie plague, but no one's wearing masks. It was so, and I don't know. Are the shops open during zombie plagues? Can you go to the pub?
Only if you smash the windows and sort of climb in through them, and then, you know. But then you have to be ready.
There was another program I saw about a vampire plague in New York. A vampire plague had broken out in New York, and then there were people sitting in restaurants. I said, "What? Why are you? Wouldn't you run away? I mean, life is continuing. You know, no one wearing masks, no plastic things. They're just happily sitting in a restaurant talking about this vampire plague's terrible, isn't it? Yeah."
Okay, I seem to have missed this. This is a movie we need to look into for sure.
I think it was called. I can't no idea what it's called.
There has been an awful lot of crap out there to watch on TV, especially because like filming and everything stopped. So you're scratching around thinking, what can I watch next? And things basically got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I know they stopped filming a new Batman film. So a friend of mine was working on it. They was filming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we were surprised because they were in the middle of doing a Mission Impossible film with Tom Cruise, and it turns out they've started refilming, and he was here in Milton Keynes the other week filming. He's all on the local news.
I heard about Tom Cruise being in Milton Keynes.
Yeah, he pitched up and landed in some I don't know, a chalk pit or clay pit just on the outskirts of Milton Keynes in a helicopter. There's people there with selfies with Tom Cruise.
Well, he loves all that, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Right, listen, I'm gonna scurry along with something now because I want to make sure all these people that sent in questions are going to get them. So I'm going to quickly ask you to do one thing for me, and then I'm going to hit you with all the AMP people questions. Right. So what we spoke about before was you would have a pen and paper or a crayon and paper, we don't mind, and you would doodle either a portrait of yourself or whatever is on your mind or whatever you fancy drawing, and sign it for me. That's what we want you to do. What's your Marco's work of art be?
Should I write it on the back of this thing from the bank?
As long as you haven't got your bank details, because you're going to send it to me and then I'm going to auction it off for your chosen charity. So don't have any personal details on there.
Blank envelope then, which is the only thing
that sounds perfect. That sounds perfect.
All right.
But if you want to sign your name with a blank check, that's fine too.
People don't use checks anymore.
Do you know? I can't remember the last time. I don't even know if I've got a checkbook.
I don't even know where my checkbook is.
I don't actually, to be honest with you. I don't think I've got one.
Now, Sabrina is a great conspiracy theorist, and she was telling me this morning, I was like, they're going to implant everybody with chips and it's going to be a cashless society. I said, it's already a cashless society. When was the last time you ever used cash?
Yeah, just don't, do you? Not anymore. No checks. You hardly ever use cash. No.
No, I actually went to the bank and I went to Cashbank and got £100 out the other day. That's the first time I've done it in about a year.
The thing is, I kind of miss it because it's like if you go to a shop and you go, right, I've got £10, well, that's what I could spend, and when it's gone, it's gone. But if you use a card all the time, it's really hard keeping track. That's my excuse for how much money I spend anyway, so I just thought I'd get that in there. Anyway, what have you drawn for us, Marco?
I'm drawing a guitar. So how much money do you spend? Millions?
Well, depends if I go near the casino or not.
You've got a rock star husband, haven't you?
I have got a rock star husband, yeah. The newly invigorated Stereotypes. It's 40 years it's taken them to write their first bloody album.
Really? 40 years?
It's a good one. It's a good one. They were a band back in, what was it, dear? 1979. And they played one gig at a youth club in Essex.
Yeah.
Brought out one EP that they funded themselves and printed a couple of 100 copies. Split up due to artistic differences. A couple of years ago, somebody tracked them down from Record Collector because they said it's the third rarest punk record of all time and it's selling for £1,500 a copy.
I'm sure.
So can you get the band back together?
I'm sure there are much rarer punk singles, like singles which were never released. They're rare.
Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you what, I didn't have to track down those copies in the attic quick and flogged a few.
Yeah, people always. Yeah, I'm stuck with a whole load of boxes full of Wolfmen albums. I don't know what to do. But
yeah, you never know. You could have a revival.
No, I doubt we're going to have a revival.
I'm ever optimistic about everything, me. So anyway, while you're finishing drawing that, what charity would you like to nominate for that to be auctioned off to?
Centrepoint homeless charity.
Where is it? Where is it? Oh, oh, lovely. Oh, very nice. So if you put your squiggle on there,
okay,
and then I'll send you my address. You post it through, and everyone that's watching, that is going to be auctioned off.
This will be like Princess Diana's dresses, wasn't it? It's going to be.
It'll make more than that. We're talking about. So we're going to get an auction going for that to raise money for Centrepoint. Okay, Marco's chosen charity. So
I'll have to die to make this more.
Oh, please don't, because we'll want you back on the program at some point. That'll be difficult if we have to dig you up.
Have you noticed that everyone's dog is called Bowie or David or Ziggy Stardust or Thin White Duke? Ever since he died, everyone's dog is called.
It's amazing what happens, isn't it, after you die? How important you become.
Yeah, and I'm sure David is thinking, wherever he is, thinking, well, you didn't like me then, did you? You didn't.
Yeah, you want the adoration while you're still here to enjoy it.
Yeah, I wanted the worldwide adoration, not just blokes walking down the street going, "Oh, you're Bowie." Yes, I know I'm Bowie. Yes.
Yeah, I've noticed. I looked in the mirror this morning. I know who I am.
Yeah, no, that's what my friend Sam saw him in New York, and you know, saw Bowie coming towards him, and he actually said, "You're Bowie."
No. Jesus. Right, so listen, we are going to hopefully, I'm looking to my producer, otherwise known as husband, in the other room, who we have put burning questions on some banners. So I want to thank all the people in all these ant groups who have really, really been looking forward to you coming on. And I foolishly said to them, do you have any questions for Marco? And got absolutely bombarded with questions. Right. So if you are ready, we are going to start putting these questions up on screen and get your answer to the burning questions. There we go. Here's the first one. Is it true that you suffered from stage fright, and how did you deal with it? From Debbie.
Yeah, I suffered from terrible stage fright. It would only subside after the gig, and I felt all right. And then the rest of the evening, I felt all right, and then I slept all right. And then you get up in the morning and think, "Oh no, I've got to do it all again today." And it just subsided actually, just by doing it a lot.
So it just became easier over time.
Became easier over time. I mean, I hadn't done a gig for 10 years till we did Shakespears Sister, and I wasn't like, I was very. I mean, everyone's always nervous for the first gig and everything, and I was pleased to see that everybody in the band was as nervous as I was, because my nerves were down to a reasonable level, like a normal level that everybody else gets, instead of the sort of puking terror that he used to get.
Was it that bad that you throw up before you go on stage?
But the funny thing was, as soon as you got on stage and the lights went, you were all right. And you try and think yourself, it's like, why you've done this 30, 60 times, and you know that you're all right so why do you have to go through this all day long? Yeah.
But do you think sometimes, Joe, it's just the push of adrenaline, so that actually makes you perform better? Or not?
No, you have to have that push of adrenaline.
I think if you ever felt like you didn't have that kind of nervous energy about you, maybe you'd probably be in the wrong profession.
Well,
you've got to have some of that, haven't you?
It does. I mean, over a big tour, doing 90 dates, you can't keep it up. You can't get that nervous energy. It becomes a bit like just sort of walking into the living room, really.
I was going to say, when you're on those big tours back in the day, Adam and the Ants, I mean, didn't by the end of it, how was it? Doing those massive long tours, doesn't it completely burn you out?
Yeah, it does. It burns everyone out. Anyone who's ever done it, like a really big American or world tour, will know. By the end of it, but the last 6 weeks is just people kind of just being really ill. Everyone's really ill. Everyone's really tired. And it's really difficult, I remember doing. I did the Sinead tour. I remember we did one gig. I hadn't been on stage for about 5 years till I did Sinead. Did this one gig, and I remember the second gig, and there was a curtain and everything. I remember sitting on In fact, we're on stage just waiting to start, actually, and the sort of intro tape was on, and the curtains were going to open, and we were going to go, launch into a brilliant number. I remember just sitting on the drum riser, just going, "Oh, I'm really knackered." And thought, "Oh, I've got to get up now," and it's just, it becomes like, "Oh, fucking, I have to answer the door now," and it's a bit like that.
But do you not, even at that stage, when you're that knackered and you're coming to the end of it, do you still get, like, when you actually walk out on stage and the energy from the audience, does it give you anything? Does that keep you going? Or by that stage, is it too far past caring?
You get too far past caring, actually.
So would you tour again, but just do short tours if you were doing them?
Well, Shakespears Sister was good because it was in like 2-3 weeks. I think we rehearsed longer than the tour actually was. So yeah, I would only really do short tours, and I would only do it with people I really knew really well.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, we're moving on to our next question. This is an interesting one. Why did the band swap outfits all the time? Were you skint? Christopher wants to know. Apparently, you used to share outfits.
I didn't share outfits. No one's going to wear my stuff. It's mine. When did we ever share outfits?
He said to me that throughout the early period, when you did magazine shirts and appearances on TV, somebody would be wearing one shirt, then somebody else would be wearing it, and then somebody else would be wearing the same waistcoat, and you used to interchange your clothes, apparently. I'll be honest, I never studied things that closely, but according to Christopher,
I do study things that closely. I don't think I ever did. I never wore anybody else's clothes. It wouldn't fit me for a start. Well, the others did. I'm sure the others did because, yeah, they were skint because we kept on like subsistence wages.
Well, there you go, Christopher. You were right. They were skint. That was it. It's as simple as that.
The others were skint, and we used to feed them. We didn't used to feed them very much because obviously there was me and Adam in one dressing room, all wearing tiaras and things, and loads of tucks.
Oh, you princess, you!
Yeah, tiaras and big sparkly earrings, and that kind of. We couldn't get enough money onto us.
Oh, here we go. Talking about tiaras.
Yeah.
There's another one from Shelley Brady. Tell us about the time your parents went to the Royal Variety Show to watch Adam and the Ants. Can you remember that, Marco?
Yeah, I remember doing it. I remember that we did do it. I think we met the Queen. I think we met. No, was it the Queen? Or we did a couple of them. We met Princess Margaret. I remember she was really drunk.
Was it the Queen? It was some bird in a tiara. It might have been.
No, we did one with Princess Margaret. She was really drunk. When people sort of, that kind of like old men you meet in pubs sometimes, and she was like all red and like her eyes were all glassy. She got swaying.
Oh God!
Really drunk.
Didn't she once burn her feet because she was really plastered and she got into a bath and she'd forgotten to put any cold water in it?
She did loads of things. I think she just sort of realised that she has actually, she would never be queen, and she had absolutely no use in the world. Nothing. There was nothing for her to do.
May as well just drink then.
Well, I mean, it is depressing to sort of like realise I have absolutely no value whatsoever. That
is quite tragic, actually. You can see why she got plastered then.
Yeah, I would if you just think like there's nothing. My life is nothing.
That's just darkness and tragedy for a Saturday afternoon.
No, I may have everything, but I can't do anything. So it's like.
I'm laughing. I can hear him cackling away in the other room.
No, I mean you would do if you were Princess Margaret, which obviously I am. You would just
of course.
I have no use. I have no value. There's nothing for me to do. I'm completely useless. I might as well get as plastered because there's nothing else for me to do. You completely understand that.
Totally understand that. So let's see if the next question brings us to any kind of a brighter shade of a weekend. What have we got next?
Okay.
How much were you influenced by the songs on the Sex Jukebox? And are there any nods in any of the Ants tunes? I can hear some there. Bill, can hear.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. I'm sure. I can't think of any specific ones at this moment, but yeah, there will be. And I was completely influenced. No, that album I did was like 20 favorite tracks. They really are my favorite 20 favorite tracks.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, but yeah, you had that album, didn't you?
Yeah. So I used to play those tracks all the bloody time when in that, the same 20. It's really true. And yeah, there will be. Bizarrely, the track that I just kicked myself, the track I completely forgot that was on that jukebox was Pironni Black. The thing No, I forgot it. I forgot all about it.
Oh, man.
And it's the big track, isn't it? It's the big sort of, the big track that we got everything from. And I forgot to put it
Jesus. So hang on, are you saying that there was 20 tracks on that jukebox in the shop that never changed?
No, it never changed. There were actually 200. It was like 200 selections or something, or 100 records, or it was. No, it never changed.
Good Lord. But Bowie and Roxie music weren't on there, were they?
No, because they hated Bowie and music. Malcolm and Vivienne came from a different generation.
So did you make out that you didn't like them, or the subject just didn't come up about Bowie and Roxie music? You just kept your mouth shut.
They hated them, and I think it's on one of their T-shirts. I think is "We hate David Bowie," and it's like, yeah. No, I think the subject never came out because it was always be. I think Malcolm once said, "Oh, yeah, David Bowie, you won't know nothing from him, boy." Oh, you do actually, Malcolm, but never mind.
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot. No, they hated them. They hated all that. But then they hated everything.
He's laughing away in the other room. So one of his songs, a husband over here, is called "I Hate Work." Work's a bitch. You wouldn't want to do it if you were rich. So he's quite good at hating things as well. Right.
But when you can't work, it's really...
Then that's a different story.
Really depressing.
Oh, hang on, here we are. So not be depressing. The word "dead's" in here somewhere. Hold on, what we got now? Who do you think is the most underrated guitarist, alive or dead? From Artemis Joan. Most underrated.
I can't remember. I just... Underrated. I can tell you who I really like, actually, which no one's ever noticed, is that I don't even know his name. It's the guy in Happy Mondays.
Oh, guy in Happy Mondays. Do you know his name, Ash? See if he'll come up with it. He'll probably know it. He'll work it out.
There was a guy, the guy who plays guitar in Happy Mondays. If you listen to Happy Mondays records, which I really like, it's mostly based on these repetitive guitar riffs. They're just really, really good riffs, really good sound. But no one ever notices them.
Mark Day. Mark Day. I'm having shouted at me. Well done. Thanks, boss. Yeah, Mark Day.
And there was a guy in... Okay, this is where my mind has gone. Who's the bloke out of the Libertines? The one who went out with Kate Moss.
Oh, no, the one out of the Libertines. Pete Doherty.
Pete Doherty.
Yeah, Pete Doherty.
He had a band after the Libertines. The guitarist in that was really good. I mean, he was sort of that great sort of mix of like not quite knowing what he's doing, but it sounds brilliant.
Oh, cool.
Because I saw
Is
him
he still alive, Pete Doherty?
Eh?
Is he still alive, Pete Doherty?
Just. Not
barely.
Really. Not really, I think it's the sort of, a bit like
breathing.
Is Shane McGowan dead? Not really.
Difficult to tell. Oh, right. Okay, we're moving on to another one.
I just thought another one. I can't remember.
Go on.
The two guitar players. I don't know who does what in the Idols because I can't. And I haven't really sort of listened to it that intensely. I've never seen them. The two guitarists in the Idols, I really like them.
The Idols?
Yeah. Idol.
Got me.
Know them.
No.
You do.
Do I?
Yeah.
I'll have to think about it.
Idol.
I know Billy Idol.
No, they're just called Idols.
Idols as in idol as in lazy, or idol as in an idol?
It's spelled idle as in lazy, but I think it's a play on, you know, a
Oh, okay. All right.
They're really good. They're really good. Except because it sounds like completely random noise, but I know it isn't.
Well, sounds interesting. I'm intrigued.
No, there is a kind. They sound like they just kind of grab the guitar and go and done that, but it isn't. It's all worked out. It's all
cleverly worked out.
It's all really cleverly worked out. I think those two guys are great. Whoever does what, I don't know who. I can't really make out, but they work really well together, and it's sort of like it just sounds like this chaos, and it isn't chaos because it repeats. You know,
planned chaos.
They know what they're doing.
Sounds interesting. Right, that's something for me to look into afterwards, and we finished. Oh, hello.
They're famous. They're not.
Do you know me? It's like I said to you earlier. I'm watching films that were from 1985, and I'm only just catching up on them now. I'm so far back in time.
25 years time, you'll get to hear an Idols album.
I'll catch up eventually. Apparently, there's a new band out called the Carpenters, and there's some bird sings. His name's Karen or something. They're a new band.
Sometimes plays drums.
Anyway,
she's been looking really thin recently.
Anyway, moving on. Right, what's David Noble asking? Did you contribute to the lyrics as well as the music? I'm assuming we're talking about Adam and the Ants.
Yeah, no, I didn't contribute to the lyrics because we're not. Adam never wants anyone because he knows very much what he wants to say, and he doesn't want someone like me who can't write lyrics. If I came up with a great lyric, I'm sure he might have said, "Oh, well, we'll use that. That's really good," but I never did. So it's solely him for the lyrics. Yeah, because it was, you know, it's all very kind of personal about what he's, you know, what he's going through and what he's thinking and stuff.
Okay, fabulous. Next, where's our next one? Oh, hello, Nicholas Allen Groves. Will you and Adam be collaborating again?
I don't know. At this point, it seems unlikely, as we seem to have different interests. Like, it just seems to want to play live all the time, which I don't really want to do. Actually, someone told me that he's had to cancel some dates or something because
today's got cancelled. It was what was it? The Liverpool. There was a festival thing going on in Liverpool, and this morning it was the next. What is it? Retro Fest in Liverpool, and he's announced this morning that somebody within the team's got COVID and they've got to isolate. So China Crisis is stepping in to replace Adamant today.
Oh yes, someone told me that.
Yeah. But would you like to collaborate with him again? I suppose is the question. You would.
Yeah.
Live or on?
I don't think I want to play live. I mean, because it's. I just think that I only wanted to play these songs once, you know, just record them and that's it. I didn't want to play them another 150 times. And I don't really want to play amp music anymore. And it's just like, as much as I like it and all that, it's like, it's a bit like, do you want to go back to school? Well, no, not really, you know, although we had a laugh. I just don't want to play. I don't mind. I'd probably play it once, you know, do one gig or something. I'm not doing 30 gigs.
But like, say if there was a thing, I don't know, a reunion special, one night only.
Yeah, but there's no point. There's no point in us doing. We couldn't afford to do it, you know, because you can't just play for one night and then think you're going to get your rehearsal costs.
Yeah,
and it's not. We're not Led Zeppelin. They can do it. You know, they can do one gig and that's it. But it's like, you know, we couldn't afford to do that.
Yeah,
we'd have to do a whole tour, which I don't want to do. I mean, I really can't.
Oh, I won't force you to. It's all right. You don't have to.
No, you won't. You won't be able to force me to.
Can't talk you into it. Right, what have we got? Hang on, they're coming thick and fast here. If you could change one decision you made in your musical career, What would it be? Asks Peter Evans. Oh, one decision.
Because there's not just one decision. I would never have bought that album with Lou Reed and Metallica on it. That's the one thing I've changed. I've never listened to that. No, I know. Worse than that, I would never have watched the orchestral version of Quadrophenia on Sky.
Oh, God.
That was Quadrophenia is one of my favourite albums. I think, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is this? It was just awful. And to see that Pete Townsend was actually involved, it's like, but Pete knows where his bread's buttered, doesn't he? And it's like, Pete, stop it. Oi.
Pack that in. Behave yourself.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why people want to do orchestral versions of things, but I mean, but Pete's very grandiose. I mean, I think an orchestral version of Tommy, that worked out. That was okay. It didn't offend me.
Yeah.
But the Quadrophenia one was just, it was just a fucking holocaust. It really was awful. But that's it. I would never have watched, if I could change one thing in my life, I would never have watched the orchestral version of Quadrophenia on Sky.
Okay.
There you go then, Pete. Now you know. Right. Oh, crikey. What have we got here? Right. So, Jeffrey Goranson. Here's a long one. The guitar parts on Sinead O Connor's The Lion and the Cobra album are brilliant. How much of it did you compose? It's a beautiful album.
It's a very good question. I don't know. I think I mean, definitely Mandinka is all me. There's another track that's all me. And there's that one about one that's got big power chords. That's called Jerusalem. That's me.
Okay.
But it's sort of obvious. I only know it's me because I know it's. I think, well, that sounds like me, so I must have done it.
Don't you keep a diary of these things?
No.
See, that's what I do. That's the only way I remember anything. I just write diaries all the time, and then I can't remember a bloody thing. I just go and look in my diary.
No, I hear tracks all the time that I've done. I've got them on this computer, and I listen to this, and I go, I've never heard this before. But that's not just me. Lots of people do that. They go, I've found all these tracks. I know it's me, but I've never heard them before.
How bizarre. Bizarre. Oh, hello. Claire's popped up. Claire Wicks. What does Claire Wicks want to know? Claire Wicks wants to know, what was the songwriting process like with Sinead? They're beautiful songs.
Well, I did the tracks and I sent it to her, and then I didn't. In those days, there was no email, so I'd have to give her a cassette or a CD.
A cassette.
Yeah, the world's most awful format.
Get out your biro and wind your cassette when it all comes loose. Do you remember doing that? Oh,
so glad they're gone. Awful, horrible things. Or maybe at the time I was working with, maybe CDs. And I think we, because we were, specialised people, we had CD burners, and I think I probably gave her CDs. But that's, I gave her some. I think I gave her about 5 or 6 tracks, and she sang on some of them and didn't like others. But there was never any much sort of like, I was saying earlier that she never sort of said like, oh, can you change that? Or can you change this? Or I like this bit. And it's like, or can we make this bit better? She would just sort of sing on the track. And I just felt it was really kind of, it felt like he hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
It felt like he hadn't really created anything. There was none of that thing that I really liked. Someone says, oh, I love this, but that's awful. I mean, I don't know how long I worked with him. It was like 30 years, but I always used to give him tracks, and I used to say, well, I've got this idea, and I think, and I think this is the chorus. And he'd always go, no, that's not the chorus, that's the verse. I said, okay, that's fine. It's the verse then, if you want it to be the verse. But I really always liked it, but he always thought the different bits were not what I thought they were going to be.
Then that's the creative process, isn't it? You bounce off each other.
That's the whole point of working with people. They think of things that you'd never think of.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hello. Colin Doyle. Okay, Colin Doyle. Yeah, he actually messaged me this morning and said, you won't forget my question, will you? How do you get the sustained notes on guitar in That Voodoo? As in, what guitar effects do you use to sustain without fading?
Right. What do you have to do? It's all feedback, and you have to stand next, and it just does the feedback. This feedback loop. If you stand close enough to your amp in the right position. I mean, I remember Frank Zappa used to have this thing. We used to mark out bits on stage, like the bit he would have to stand in to get that particular note. And you have to do this sort of every night because all stages are different, and there's always different acoustics on the stage. But I kind of used to do that, and I used to know that, like, if I go 2 feet 6 inches away from the speaker and turn to the left, I'll get this note. If I go 3 feet 7 inches and turn to the right, I will get that note. Or if I go right up against it and turn completely around, it will go like that. It's just it's feedback loops. I don't like EBOs. You don't know what that means.
I have no idea what that means. You see, now, if you ever go on Ryan Roxie's show In the Trenches, you two can geek out on guitars all you like, but I will sit here and smile sweetly and go, that sounds great, Marco, but I have no clue what you're talking about.
Well, no, I have a Sustainiac guitar, but I've never really used it. I wish I'd had it at the time, but it hadn't been invented. It's like that sound on Heroes, like it's that.
Oh yeah.
But he didn't use an EBO. That's all kind of that's just him playing really loud in the right position in the studio and getting the right overtones. Although it's really hard. I find it really hard in the Les Paul. This is why I use juniors.
Okay. Ooh.
If that means nothing to you either.
It doesn't. I'm not going to lie to you. Darbo DC. Right, when I asked for questions, Darbo DC inundated me. So let's get cracking with these questions. Here we go. Tell us something that people would be surprised to know about you. Right, let's take this in chunks, one at a time. Something people would be surprised to know about you, Marco.
I don't know. I don't sleep very much.
Okay. How many hours do you reckon you sleep on average?
I sleep about 1 day a week.
1 day a week?
Yeah.
Do you nap?
Sometimes. I had a nap yesterday, actually, but I used to nap a lot. I always used to nap from like 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, that's my time for napping. Yes.
I don't do it anymore.
No?
No.
What do you do instead then? See, I find that a dead time of day. It's like you finish lunch, it's not time for dinner, so you might as well just go to sleep.
So are you a person of leisure like me, so you don't have to go to work?
Yeah. So if you can nap, why wouldn't you?
I mean, people just don't realise the terrible burden of not having to go to work. Just the problems that not working simply does not bring.
I never experienced any of them.
What's that? Well, husband says he never experienced. No, you can't experience leisure because if you're here, there's always jobs to be done, dear. Anyway, right. So we know about the insomnia then. Right? Let's go to the next one. What was the last album you listened to, start to finish?
Well, last night I listened to the new St. Vincent album.
Okay, St. Vincent again. Yeah. You got me.
They're a black rap band from Australia.
Okay.
St. Vincent are a rap act from Australia, and they do a lot of. No, they're not a rap act. It's this girl called Annie Clark who plays guitar.
So I'm just gullible. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And she was produced by the album produced by this guy Jack Antonoff, who's in a band called The Bleachers. Yeah, The Bleachers. And I really like it. I'm not so mad about The Bleachers. It's all right. I mean, some of it sounds just sort of like it really sounds like mid-80s pop. which actually you'd think I would like, and I don't. But I think it's a really good producer. It's written a lot of stuff. It's Taylor Swift, who I also really like. That's another thing. I really like Taylor Swift. That's another thing.
Now there's one I wasn't expecting.
I think she's brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I won't comment.
you should listen to Taylor Swift. There's a brilliant track called New Romantics. There's a sort of an extra track on one of her albums. I really like that. It's all about waiting for cabs which never come, and our mascara runs in the rain. And I thought, oh yeah, that's like being a new romantic.
Oh, the old electric blue mascara that I always used to wear back in the 80s. I remember it.
I used to wear black mascara.
Oh, back then it was electric blue for us lot. Oh, what?
Like a Dilalash Maybelline. You know that thing that used to twist?
Oh, God, yeah. Blimey.
I used to love that.
That was excellent. Loads of Elnet hairspray as well. Tons of Elnet. Right, where's our next one? The best. Oh, I can ask you this one, but the last question I'm drawing a blank on. I don't know what he's talking about. The best live performance you ever witnessed. Ooh, that's tough.
Well, it's been a lot. The Who at Edmonton Sundown. That was brilliant. The last time I saw Roxie, which is about 10 years ago, that was brilliant. Obviously, the Sex Pistols, the El Paradiso and the 100 Club. Even though they weren't the same thing. Obviously, that wasn't really a kind of live music experience. That was just an experience. Peter Gabriel at Universal Amphitheatre. I thought, I didn't even want to go, and it's brilliant. I actually went to see Bananarama a couple of years ago, and I thought that was brilliant. And I'm not just saying that so that I hope that Siobhan can hear me say that. No, but I mean, I did tell her that she was everybody's favourite banana because she likes hearing that.
Does she?
Yeah.
There was such a change for me. I mean, I don't care who knows it. I love Bananarama and I love Shakespears Sister, but the change in image for her was just jaw dropping.
I don't know. I don't think that was deliberate. It was just sort of like, well, I'm doing something else now, and I feel like this now, and it wasn't like I have to come up with a whole new image.
But it was worlds apart, though, wasn't it? Musically, I mean, not just the image, just musically.
Musically, yeah. But Shakespears Sister was more. It was more. I don't know really very much about Bananarama. I mean, a lot of it was done by Stock Aitken and Waterman, and the other guys. Whose names I can't remember. I think they were involved musically, but they were sort of very. They relied a lot on producers and other writers and stuff like that. And then because Marcy's pretty brilliant at just about everything, so when Siobhan worked with Marcy, I didn't really need anybody to kind of come in and do anything for them.
Yeah. I'll have to get Siobhan on here. What do you reckon? Do you think she'll come on? Have a chat with Siobhan?
Well, I'll let her see this, and if I'm saying nice things about her.
Yeah, I think so. Because we do love Siobhan, and I'm a huge fan of Bananarama.
If you say that a couple more times, well, we really love Siobhan.
We love Siobhan. She's the favourite banana.
We love you, Shove. Come on, my Shove.
We adore you. It's been a cruel summer without you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll work on that. All right. So the last question I'm hoping you will understand because I really don't.
Yeah.
Is Bob's Burgers or BoJack Horseman?
I understand that, but I never had a BoJack Horseman.
What is BoJack Horseman?
Isn't it a burger place? I know Bob's Burgers.
Wasn't Bob's Burgers a cartoon?
No, it's a burger place in America.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a cartoon on telly.
Well, maybe it is. Or BoJack Horseman is also a cartoon, isn't it?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Darby, you got us both stumped.
Eh?
He's got us both stumped.
I think the answer to this is Bob's Burgers. I think.
All right, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Last question.
Oh, I'm being told last question. Okay, we're coming to the end. We're wrapping up here. We have one here from Punkarella 45 XX or Kiss Kiss. Did you always want to be a guitarist? If not, what else did you aspire to be as a kid?
No, I always wanted to be a guitarist. Always wanted. I've never aspired to be anything else. There's absolutely nothing else.
Really?
You know, apart from secret agent or, you know, captain of the Enterprise or something like that. No, in terms of, you know, real world, as real as my world is, no, it's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. I wanted to play bass once. I wanted to play bass once for a while. I thought, because I like playing bass. I'm not really good at it, but I do like playing bass. But I thought, no, it gets boring and it hurts. It really hurts your hands. So I thought, well, I'll go back to guitar. But that didn't last long. That lasted about a week when I went to play bass when I was a kid.
I'm going to throw one very last quick one in because she sent it to me last night, and it was Gretchen from Ohio, and she wanted to know Addams Family or the Munsters. Which are your favourite?
The Munsters.
Why?
They look better and they got a better car.
Oh God, fantastic car! Would kill for a car like that. Oh.
You can buy them.
Yeah, how much?
I think about 100 grand or something. You know, you can't even buy them in the shop because I mean, it's a build it for you. But and I mean, there's a lot of those monster coaches, and there's a lot of the other one, the Dracula. But no one ever knows which is it's like the Batmobile. No one ever knows which is the original one. And so they auction it off. People keep buying all these replica Batmobiles. No one ever knows. Well, they think they know, but they never knows which Batmobile they used for, you know, what bit. Yeah.
Well, at this point in the show, usually what I do is I put along the bottom of the screen a big scrolling bar that tells people all your social media and all the ways that they can contact you. But you're not really what we would call a social media lover, are you?
No, I'm not a social media lover.
So what we are doing instead is there are kind of partner or sister shows to this show. So we are currently scrolling their details along the bottom of the screen.
I have an Instagram, and I came off social media for various reasons. Well, not I was really on it very much, because it just got annoying, and just you spend your whole day worrying about nothing, and so. For about 10 years, I never had any social media. But what with the pandemic and the absolutely kind of total isolation that I had to live in here in the appalling Derbyshire countryside.
You're crackling. You're crackling, Mark.
I thought Instagram was good because, well, actually, my friends were it, which is what I thought was good. And all we do is just put up pictures, which is mostly pictures of David Bowie, Roxie music and guitars. I mean, and I've sort of run out of things because I have no other real interests. So shoes, that's about it.
Now carry on screaming. You put that up the other day. You put Vampire up. I saw her.
You broke up there.
You've gone crackly. Are you eating a bag of crisps?
What?
You're going crackly. Are you eating a bag of crisps?
No, I'm not eating a bag of crisps.
No, you're crackling.
I have to plug my headphones back in.
It's the earphones. So while he's putting his headphones back on, what you can see along the bottom of the screen is all the other channels that we recommend that you watch. Obviously, we're going to recommend that you watch In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie, which is on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. UK time, and I believe his guest on Tuesday is Kerry Kelly. We also have Pink Sock, which always airs on Mondays at 6 p.m. UK, and he has several guests coming up on the 9th of August, Love Hate, and on the 10th of August, or was that, no, 16th of August, Alan Poe, apparently. And also the Voice It show that is on usually on Thursdays, and they will be announcing guests very soon. Before we go, I also want to say a huge thank you to all the ant groups on Facebook who have promoted the show. We've got Ant Warriors Forever, we've got Adam and the Ants, we've got Adam Ant, the original fan page, and Adam and the Ants fan club. And all of you guys have let us post, ask questions, and promote Marco being on the show. So thank you to all of you. All these details are in the description notes for the show, so you can find all that information there. So Marco, any final words of wisdom before we leave?
You know, I didn't hear any of that apart from the bit about the ant groups.
Don't worry, I was just thanking all these ant groups because they've been really good. When I said you were coming on, they've been promoting it, asking questions, letting everyone know you were coming on. Nice. So happy to see you. They've been oodles of love has come out in your direction.
I thought they didn't like me.
They love you. So I'll name them again so you know who these groups are. You've got Ant Warriors Forever, Adam and the Ants, Adam and the original fan page, and Adam and the Ants fan club. And they have all had an outpouring of love for you over the last few weeks.
So if I go on these sites, will they grovel?
Yeah. And just think how much they're going to raise for your charity. Don't forget, everyone, Marco's going to send me that picture. I'm coming back to your groups, and whoever's going to put the highest bid in for that picture to raise money for Centrepoint will have that signed original from Marco. So
I've got to draw a platform boot on here as well.
Why not? Yeah, go on. Yeah. And I need to also let people know that if they're coming back to this show, which of course they've subscribed to, but if you're coming back next month on the 28th of August, we will have, drum roll please, Roman Hugh from The Damned. He will be our next guest on the 28th of August. And we have much more to come, but I'm keeping that quiet.
Did you have Toya on?
I had Toya on. I've had Clive, Doctor from Doctor and the Medics.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of other people that I'm keeping secret at the moment. Okay, but yeah, Roman's on next.
Yeah, don't keep them too secret. You do really have to tell people about it.
I will tell people about it, I promise. And hopefully, you know who'd be really good to have.
Who?
Oh, you're what's her name? She's in Bananarama and Shakespears Sister. Oh, see, it'd be lovely to have Siobhan because we all love Siobhan and we need Siobhan to come today.
I'll ask her.
No, we only know Siobhan. Well, so before you go, Marco,
what?
Have you any final words of wisdom or happiness or joy as we head off into a Saturday afternoon?
No. I'm not a happiness and joy sort of person. What can I say? I mean, you know, it's
have a nice Saturday.
Have a nice Saturday. Avoid the zombie plague. As much as I hate to say it, I think you may have to wear your mask. And I absolutely hate those masks. I hate watching them. And I just went into a restaurant the other day, and I hate being served by people with masks. It's really creepy.
It is creepy.
Yeah.
But you can get some really cool ones.
I think that makes it worse, actually. Like sort of personalised sort of rhinestone mask.
I like my grinning skull one.
No, I think they're stupid. I just think, you know, I just wish we didn't have to wear them at all. Because it is like kind of the end of the world.
But
well, I hope so.
Yeah, we're getting there. Marco, I'm going to thank you enormously for your time. We've overrun by an incredibly long way because I usually try and keep these programs to under an hour, and we appear to be hitting the 2-hour mark. So I apologise profusely. But it's been a fabulous show. Really, really grateful for having you on. You're an absolute superstar. And I'll be coming back to these ant groups to raise some money for Centrepoint for you very, very soon.
Oh, good.
So I will just stay there for me a minute. We'll stick you backstage and I'll just come and have a chat with you. But thank you very much for being on Reignite, Marco.
Thank you to everyone for watching. Sorry that we're about to hit the 2-hour mark, but he's such a fascinating guy with so much to say we couldn't cut things off. So thank you all for watching. We will be back, as I said, on the 28th of August with Roman Uke from The Damned. I hope you'll join us. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for your question. Much love to all. Keep it spooky.